guys, it's Horsey Stuff, and today I am back with another Horse Trainer Reacts to Horse Fails video. I know you guys love watching me cringe at all these fails, so if you guys could go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for future videos, that would help me out a ton. And let's go ahead and jump on in and see what gas-worthy accidents and fails we have to react to today. Alright, so this looks like some sort of cast horse. Like he was rolling and he got his foot caught in a plastic like trough barrel thing. Handled it really well. He wasn't worried about it at all. So, I mean, props to him. And like, yeah, it happens. At least he didn't get stuck on the fence and completely panic, because that really sucks. I've had some of them do that. This one seems like, yeah, whatever. It's too much work to get up anyway. Alright, so here they have a baby running around. Its mom's grazing in the field. Oh, and the baby goes right through the fence. Alrighty then. The mom was totally chill, didn't mind the baby running at all, until it just crashed right through that fence and ended up on the other side. Then the mom's like, wait a second, where is my baby going? Makes perfect sense. Babies get the zoomies a lot where they just have all this energy and start running for no reason. Typically, mothers will just ignore that behavior because it doesn't come from a place of anxiety and fear, and they get really used to their baby just running and, you know, expending energy for no reason. But of course, once the baby is across the fence, then the mom can't actually get to the baby, so I see why now she's super upset about it. When previously she was like, yeah, whatever, he's just running to run. Oh, well, good news is the baby went right back through the fence. Oh gosh, so the baby went right back through the fence, like completely took it down this time. And then the mom's like, we gotta get out of here, and jumps out of the gate. I'm assuming the baby is gonna crash right through that, because it looks like this gate is also more of the tape. Looks like the baby is just gonna go through that tape again. I would guess that he's kind of learning to go through tape through this process. He realizes he can do it and nothing goes really badly when he does. So he's like, yeah, I'll just gallop right through it again and again. It is one reason I would never use tape that's not electrified. I feel like it isn't a very sturdy fence. It's not hard for horses to climb through or push their way through, kind of step through, etc. It's just, it's not a sturdy fence at all. So if you don't use electric, you're really teaching them to get through fencing. Obviously, when you electrify it, most horses are gonna feel that shock when they hit it, and they're gonna just stay away from it. They're not even gonna mess with it. Not all horses, but most of them. It's not very fun when your horse knows how to get out of fencing. It's really a pain, something I would avoid. Alright, so this horse is super excited. She's got him on a lunge line, but unfortunately didn't actually make it to the lunging area before he took off. This is where ground manners come in. You could have absolutely fixed this by just having the horse have better manners and understand to get their energy out behind you and away from you, not running around you and just basically ignoring the fact that you're on a line. She is in a little bit of a tricky situation now though, because he's gone around this post and she's holding the line. So basically he's gonna clothesline himself if she's not careful. There is a way to actually do this, since there are people that specifically build pens with a post in the middle to help them get a little bit more leverage on horses that really get to bolting or whatnot. So if she knows what she's doing, she's gonna keep circling around that post, but keep the tension on the post so that the horse is pulling on both her and the post, essentially keeping him clotheslined to help maintain control. I'm not sure that's actually what she's gonna do, because if you haven't seen that, it might not be your first instinct. Your first instinct might be that you need to get away from the post so that you don't, you know, get the rope ripped out of your hand or something. Yeah, she's gonna try to get away from the post. And that worked for her. So at least he has enough forward and he has enough manners on the lunge line to leave that post and kind of make a bigger circle and just kind of bronk around the bigger circle. She could just spiral that circle into the arena that was right behind her. I assume that's where she was going originally. In that situation, that would probably be my first thought, is to try to spiral that circle into the arena, because obviously she didn't have the skill to keep the horse from circling her in the first place. So maybe she can move the circle, get to a safer place to lunge, and not have to deal with leading him anymore until after the lunging. But I would definitely be addressing the leading issue immediately. The fact that he burst past her and around her and just kind of took off on a circle is a huge safety issue to me, and something I would be addressing immediately. Maybe lunge him first if he's never worked on it, but address it immediately after you're done lunging. Alright, she's jumping bareback. And just got way too forward. I cannot believe she basically stayed on that as the horse kind of came up and spun. That's pretty crazy. I think what happened there is she was galloping and started to lose balance, so she started to slide forward. And the horse got a little upset about her being forward and started popping up to try to like get her off the withers. And that kind of popped her completely off. But you know, she hung on to mane and kind of stuck that. I don't actually know if she fell off after that. I mean, rode it better than I imagine I would ride that. I figured she was off as soon as he really popped up and did that spin. So incredible job. Work on your bareback riding, and I don't think that'll keep happening though. Alright, they're going swimming. Something I really want to do. I just don't have a horse to do it with right now. Alright, so this horse is grooming a cat. That's so cute. I can imagine how this is gonna end, but it is really adorable in the moment. I would guess that the cat is gonna get done with this, either because the horse got slightly too rough, or the cat's just, you know, being a cat and doesn't want to be groomed anymore, and is gonna swat him on the nose, and he's gonna be like, oh my god, that hurts so bad, I'm terrified of you. Could be wrong, but I'm already guessing that's how it's gonna end, because we all know cats, and they're not the kindest, most predictable creatures. I guess that's not what happened, though. I guess he just got a little rough and dragged the cat off the post. I did not expect that. Really kind cat. I have never had a cat that would be like that. Mine would always have, you know, scratched at some point, just been like, leave me alone, I'm done with this. Obviously, like, you can see the warning signs coming, but I wouldn't expect a horse to see them coming. Alright, she's doing a dance backwards on the horse. Once it started walking, I would have aborted and been like, you know what? This horse looks really not okay with this situation. I should probably make sure he's okay before continuing. I think she had the opposite thought, like, well, he's not really okay with me flinging my arms around, sitting backwards on him, so let me just hurry up and finish this dance. It's probably one of those, like, TikTok dance things. And hope that she can get it done before he's actually panics. But, you know, she didn't get it done and he panicked, so I think she would have been better pausing and restarting once he was a little bit more comfortable. Oh, okay, so this is another example of a horse that needs work on its ground manners, and it unfortunately kicked. I believe that was the jockey it kicked. But the person holding it wasn't able to control the front end of the horse, so he was pulling away with his head, and then as a result able to turn in and kick with his hind. Something you definitely want to avoid when you're leading a horse. And then a horse that is going to act like that, you just don't want to stand anywhere near its hind end, because you know, you can't see a kick coming, they come really fast, and yeah, the horse isn't being super predictable. Really sucks, hope the jockey's okay. I don't think that was a super bad kick. Looked like it got him in the thigh or something similar, so he probably is okay. But I mean, I'm sure it hurt like hell. I was on the ground crying immobile when I got kicked in the hips, so I'm sure it wasn't comfy. Alright, so it seems like this rider might have been trying to introduce her horse to this polo club. I think that's what she's carrying. I mean, I could be wrong, but it looks like what she's carrying. And the horse is like, touched it and then had a complete panic attack. I definitely would be doing this like in a enclosed environment in an arena, and I would have done a lot of work on the ground before I got on, so the horse was really familiar with the club being up by his face, around his whole body, etc. Just so you're setting the horse up for success, not failure. This kind of seems like setting the horse up for failure. Alright, dressage horse that bolts. If she just makes a circle, she should be absolutely fine. This really isn't that bad. Yeah, I mean, nothing really dramatic happened. He kind of leaped over the edge of the dressage court there since it's like a foot high. And she didn't really steer. I would have circled the same way I was going. I wouldn't have gone across the diagonal, especially knowing there's a dressage court down there, but I mean, honestly, it was fine. She made a circle. Life was all well. Not much to say about that. Horses do sometimes get a little forward. It's just, you could have gotten that back so much faster if you'd ridden a little more effectively. Alright, this little baby running through a field. Oh, and it kind of missed the gate there and almost crashed. I'm actually surprised it didn't crash completely into that fence. A good reaction time, because I saw it going at that edge of the fence. I thought it was just gonna go kaboom. Babies do sometimes do stuff like that. They just, you know, they don't really think ahead very well. And sometimes they get running. They're like, oh, it's just so fun to run. And they forget to look where they're going and just kind of forget that there's like fences and rails and things to run into. So that wouldn't have surprised me if the baby had run into the fence. Obviously, like, you don't want that to happen, but you do want babies in safe enough fencing that if they do crash into it, it's not going to kill them, because they just do dumb things. I mean, they're babies. Kids do dumb things too. Alright, that's an interesting jump. I guess that's a Liverpool. I hadn't really looked at it closely when I said it was interesting, but it looks like it's like a foot-high jump with a pool under that's really wide. And the horse really tried to get around that whole Liverpool, but just didn't have quite enough reach and ended up stumbling. It's definitely something you have to work up to, because most of these jumpers, like, we teach them to jump up and only teach them to jump with on like an oxer. And when you're jumping Liverpools, they're extremely wide and they're not tall. So it's an entirely different jump style that you're asking the horse to do. And if the horse is expecting to have to come up to something and jump high, and then all of a sudden you throw something low and long at them, they're like, oh my God. And they kind of Superman dive it, which is exactly what he did. He kind of just stretched his front end out to extend himself and get over it. Not a great jumping style though, and it tends to result in a little bit of tripping, so that's exactly what happened. I'm surprised this rider wasn't able to stick with it, because I would have thought if you're working on Liverpools, you're probably pretty skilled. And you know, the horse tripped and stumbled. It was nothing that severe. This wasn't a gasp one like some of those stumbles are. But I mean, she's completely off. Once she got so far back in the tack, I mean, there's nothing arm circles were gonna do to save her. She was just coming off. Alright, this person is just gonna fall off his horse as he walks, I think. Not really sure. Oh, he's gonna buck him up. I'm not really sure why you would have a beginner rider sitting on a horse bareback, I mean, on top of his blanket with no halter, bridle, anything. And I think when the horse decided to move to another patch of grass and the rider was like about to topple off just from the turn, the horse was like, you know what guys, I'm done with this. I don't need this person on me. And just kind of like lightly dumped him. That would be my assumption of what happened. I hope you guys enjoyed that horse fail video. As always, leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions of what to react to. And I have a playlist linked in the description box below of all my horse fail videos, so you can check out all of them. I post a new one every Monday at 5 p.m. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!